Hey Google, turn off all my lights, please.
Got it. Turn off 10 lights.
Would this be better? Hey Google, turn on my office lights, please. I like it better. Why not? What's up, guys? How you doing? Hey, Space Slayer, how you doing, man? Thanks for hanging out at my little stream. It's a buddy of mine. He's a mid to low 4-5 singles player. It's an old racket. It's like the Wilson Hyper Staff. Wilson Hypercarbon, and he wants it strung at 60 pounds with Babylot synthetic gut for mains and crosses. What's up, DatBoy05? Yeah, Space Flare. He's actually, let's see. He is one of the maybe 2 or 3 clients I have that don't use a full bed of poly. I try to convert him into it, and I told him about the savings he could have, but he just doesn't like it. He grew up with synthetic gut, so, you know, good for him. I gave him the information, and he still chose it. What's up, Sharpie? How you doing today? Having a good day today? It's Tuesday already. Man. What's up, Faraz? What's up, Patrick? I'm hoping everybody had a good start to their week. I most definitely did. Well, Nicholas, Medina, I'm glad that the Black Shark from Kirschbaum didn't break after literally 30 minutes of use like it did for me. Cyclone, yeah, Cyclone's really good. It's a lot of people has said that the Vocal Cyclone is like the poor man's RPM Blast, which I would agree for the most part, Nicholas. It's a little bit more of a dead feeling, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper, which obviously is, very important for, consumer people. So yeah, I'm glad that you found something that you like. So good for you. Nicholas, if you don't mind me asking, what did you previously use on a regular basis before trying Black Shark and Cyclone? Faraz Ahmed, I have never tried the Gamma Glide, so I have no official thoughts on it. Let's see what the Gamma Glide is. I've actually never heard of the Gamma Glide. Oh, it's Natty Gut. Ooh. Oh, it's not Natty Gut? Okay, it's high quality, but it's not natural gut. I haven't played with natural gut in a very, very, very long time for Azameh, so I really can't comment on that. And I'm assuming you mean Gamma Motto. Let's see. I'm assuming this is some sort of poly. I hate these things. Gamma Motto. Oh. Heptagonal. What does hepta mean? Is it 7? Yeah, 7. Hepta. If you're putting Gamma Glide on the mains and something 7-sided on the crosses, I'm assuming that's gonna feel really good, because I do recall playing with like a very, I don't think it was natural good, but it was something very soft in the mains, and I think it was like Big Banger original on the cross. It felt really good, but the problem for me is it broke really quickly. But the tension maintenance was near perfect. It felt really good. It felt different, but it felt really good at the same time. The feel was fantastic. But I actually felt like it broke faster than if it was like natural gut on a full bed. Hey man, Space Flare, is it the K-Blade? Oh my god. That's the second rendition of the blade, right? Because the first one was the N-Blade. Space Flare. So the K-Blade. Yeah, that was a good racket. I used it in high school, I think. I used a K-Blade 93. Yeah. Oh my god. This was a rock solid racket. Oh my goodness. This was such a good racket. Yeah. Yeah, it all hints at a towards serious player's racket. No, it is a serious player's racket. My goodness. That was a good frame. But so I think honestly, like rackets back then, I would honestly say rackets before like 2014 were made super, super well compared to the rackets now. Because the rackets now, even the Yonex, which obviously it's what I use. Again, I'm not sponsored, but I use it. Sometimes the butt cap on some of my Yonex rackets, I have 4 of them, Ford Ezo 98s, they're like getting squeaky. But for these older rackets, especially like the Wilsons, old school Wilson, I never had a problem with squeaky butt caps. What's up, Jerwin Rillera? How you doing, my man? Javi? Razor code, Jerwin Rillera. Razor code is, let's see. The Razor code and the Yonex Poly Tour Pro, Jerwin Riera. Is it Rilera or Riera? It depends on where you're raised. Jerwin, so the Technofiber Razor Code and the Yonex Polytour Pro are the two softest polys that not only have I ever playtested on this channel, but it is the two softest polyesters I ever played with. They're absolutely fantastic. So long answer or short answer is Razor Code. Sharpie, nice. Are you doing hip thrusts? What workouts are you doing? Yeah, Big Lenny. Like so many people, not only in like my comments, but like a lot of people that I've talked to way before I made this channel, they said, "Oh, 48 hours of real, it must be really, really crappy for ISO speed based on." No, they said the exact same thing you did, and they were like, "Yeah, it is absolutely legit, absolutely." Oh yeah, the space are all out of whack. That's why, like, to be honest, that's why I use Yonex right now, because they have really good quality control, even though it's not as good as old school Wilson. But apparently they have to cut costs somehow, right? Okay, Jerwin Valera, I apologize. I'm glad I could say it right. What's up, Cat's Mike? Thank you for joining. Did you find me through Essential Tennis? Like, literally 25% of my subscribers and people that, you know, keep an eye on me. Sharpie, do you have a home gym, I'm assuming? Man, I wish I had a home gym, but I converted my second bedroom in my condo into, obviously, you know, a studio, which is where I'm streaming and doing YouTube recordings out of. So, yeah. No, Nicholas, like, I agree, like, from what people have told me, like, people really like the Black Shark. On top of that, Kirschbaum, from what a lot of people have, like, you know, mentioned, it's a really good quality string manufacturer, but I still have to give every I would say like every major string that have come across my radar like just one chance. But I do have not the Pro Evolution 2. There's another string from Kirschbaum that a lot of people have been recommending, and they say it's really, really string friendly. Let me check. So the Super Smash, I remember that's a really good string from what I recall. I think I played with it back in like 2014, 2015. It was the Kirschbaum Max Power that I got a few direct messages from Instagram, and the Kirschbaum Super Smash, which, oh my god, it's only $74. Really? Oh my god, that's... If I wasn't saving money right now, I would totally just buy this right now. Oh my god. Oh, but it's 17 gauge. Huh. That is super cheap. Yeah, Kirschbaum is still definitely on my list, don't worry. Patrick, I'm glad. I'll share some more news with you guys in about 15 minutes. Let's say like when I get halfway through the crosses with Essential Tennis, because me and him have been me and Ian, who is the owner of Essential Tennis, and obviously calls all the shots on that massive high quality channel, have been messaging and talking back and forth quite a bit the past month and a half. I'm Jake. Kirschbaum, even though I had a really bad run-in with the Black Shark, from my experience with the Spiky Shark, I think it was called, Spiky Shark was awesome, and I really liked the Kirschbaum Black Shark, but the Kirschbaum Black Shark just broke way like literally 30 minutes. I still think it's a string to look out for being consumer friendly. Don't get me wrong. What's up, bud? Let's see. Yonex Polytour Pro. Other than my champ, I think, let's see. You're gonna have to look at the video again, but I think I did a tension check, I believe. I don't know if that was right before I did it, but I believe I did a tension maintenance check with a Yonex Polytour Pro, about 4 to 5 hours of straight hitting in, and it still held tension pretty well. And it did snap about... It was 2 hitting sessions, and it was like drilling, so it wasn't like a mash. So about an hour and a half after I did the tension maintenance, which was fine, it was still at 55 pounds, it eventually snapped. So in my opinion, that's the durability and maintenance is okay for a polyester, concerning the Yonex Polytour. Okay. I have not tried the Pro Staff racket, and if you're talking about the RF Pro Staff, Christopher Moy, yeah, it's a thick boy. It takes a lot to swing, but as long as you can get early on it and not get it behind you on especially ground strokes and reaction volleys, you're good to go, because guess what? The racket does the job for you. Jerwin Rillera, I would say so. By intermediate player, you're saying like, you know, maybe a 3-5 or lower. It really depends on your NTRP, or if you guys use it, the UTR rating. So clarify, then I'll answer that right back. So Faceless Man, that is a good question, and I don't want to get too much into politics, and obviously I'm not a doctor, even though my mom and dad wanted me to be, because I'm Filipino, and Filipinos tend to be nurses. Typically Filipinos that don't tend to be doctors. It's just a stereotype that is actually kind of true if you think about it. That's a tough one, because like for Wisconsin, which is where I live, it's fine. So what happens in Wisconsin, and I'm not going to name any clubs because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I got to phrase this very carefully, Faceless Man. So in Wisconsin, not me personally, because I can't comment on it, but if I were a 30-year-old YouTuber with blonde hair that has a channel that reviews tennis strings, and I were to make a comment, I'm not saying this is my comment, I'm just saying this is what a 30-year-old YouTuber with blonde hair that is obviously dyed would say, which is just pure coincidence. You're supposed to wear a mask inside at all times unless you're at a restaurant. Obviously, tennis clubs and gyms are exempt from that. So what a 30-year-old YouTuber with blonde hair has seen in gyms / tennis clubs indoors. This is not me. This is just, I think, someone I know. He and or she, because we're not going to disclose the gender, have told me that you're enforced to work out while wearing a mask. You're forced to walk around the hallways wearing a mask. But if you're playing tennis, it's really not enforced at all. Again, this is not me. This is someone else that has blonde hair, is 30 years old, and runs a YouTube channel based on tennis stream reviews. Okay? Faceless Man, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, Nicholas, unfortunately with the Pro Line 2, it literally has no spin. I've had multi-filaments like NXT and Wilson Sensation. For some reason, that could provide more spin than the Kirschbaum Pro Line 2. I still think it's a really good string if you're like kind of a feely type of player, like, you know, finesse, doubles oriented, and you use hybrids on your string bed. But for me, that, you know, wants more spin, or at least a good amount of spin, because I'm a singles player from the baseline, it's not for me. I was just very surprised at the lack of spin that Kirschbaum Pro Line 2 was able to give me. I don't recall, Nicholas, about how jumpy, and I'm assuming you mean by launch angle, how jumpy Super Smash was. One-hander, my current string of choice, and I'm playing around with it right now because I'm getting slight elbow irritation. It's not like injury bad, but it's still kind of slight and kind of annoying. So right now I'm using the Solinco Hyper G 16 gauge at 55 pounds. Good evening, Formula Meme. How's your night? Yeah, so Sharpie, I've been getting a lot of requests for doing home workouts for tennis players, given, you know, the current global situation. So I might turn my vlog, and I actually have a vlog coming out in the next 2 or 3 days. Again, I apologize for that. It's been really busy with not only my full-time job, but helping out with Essential Tennis. And I've been stringing a lot of tennis rackets. I've been getting a lot more tennis lessons than normal, which is okay. I know my vlog is kind of centered about partially my personal life, partially my goal of getting to 4 or 5 USTA Nationals if it happens, and then also, you know, tennis drills. But a lot of people have been asking me to do like home workout drills. So Sharpie, I'm kind of there with you, and if you really want to, you know, get my email. It's on my YouTube channel, on the About tab, about what you do for tennis specific stuff. But I have resistance bands in my master bedroom that I haven't tried. I haven't used in about 6 months. But I also have a yoga mat as well, so I might do some sort of, you know, light resistance, high rep kind of like home workout, given that everybody may or may not be quarantined, at least in the Midwestern United States, for the next, I would say 2 to 3 months. So let me know your thoughts on that. My email is in the About section of my YouTube channel. Sonic Pro Edge, Barry Lou, I have not tried it yet. You are literally the 5th person to ask it. So it is on my list to try. Again, I only have 24 hours in a day, and I'm trying my best. I have heard good things about it, and I'm excited to try it, but it is on my list. I have never tried the Alpha Pioneer DC Plus tennis string machine formula. Pros Pro tennis string, Cat's Mike. Apparently it's super cheap and pretty good quality. It actually is on my list to try on my Excel sheet that I did an auction for, so I'm excited to try it. Faceless Man, I would say try with the smaller grip. In this case, it's the 3/8. You can always add more overgrips to it. Similar to what I give advice to on racket weight, you can always add weight, but it's literally impossible to take away weight unless you're God, or unless you're an astrophysicist from the future that knows how to take away mass, which defies the laws of physics. Thanks, Dean. By the way, Dean is let's see. Dean is 2 years younger than me. And I really did something scummy to Dean. We had a challenge ladder match as juniors where I was up by enough in a match and I walked off the court when the buzzer rang just so I didn't get a loss in the challenge ladder match. Not gonna lie though, that was pretty slick of me, Dean, right? But yeah, that was what, 8th grade or freshman year in high school? Everybody say hello to Dean. I haven't seen him in literally 5 or 6 years. Nathan Garrett, go with the pure drive, or something that's like, you know, more power oriented. So that's my advice to you, and then hopefully, depending on how athletic you are or how much you're willing to do time commitment, yeah, move on to like a more player racket, kind of like a typical Wilson racket. Char B, Filipinos make good comedians too. No, the only Filipino that does stand up professionally, and I believe he's full time, is Joseph Coy. So Joe Coy, he's pretty damn good. He nails that Filipino accent, especially from a maternal perspective, pretty damn well. But my advice to Joe Coy is that don't rely on racial stereotypes too much in stand-up comedy as like your main bit, because even though it's really good and it's again, he nails the accent and the cultural thing fantastically, it's gonna get really, really old in like 2 or 3 years, similar to what Carlos Mencia does. So Carlos Mencia, obviously, he's actually Danish. He's not of Mexican descent. He's actually Danish. You know, he had Mind of Mencia. He had a really good short stand-up comedy career, but people kind of got sick of him because you know, allegations, and there was actually proof, so it's not even allegations at this point. Allegations of Carlos Mencia stealing jokes from other professional comedians, such as Bobby Lee from, I believe he's from MTV. But for stand-up comedians, I don't know, Sharpie. Maybe it's just my personality, or maybe it's the alcohol. You decide. I'm still trying to find that out myself. Yannick's VCore Pro, Christian Doctor. Oh, guys, everybody say hi to Christian. Christian was featured on my Selinko Tour Bite tennis string review. I had a relatively long intro. Christian Doctor is 6'4", has probably 5% body fat, and is strikes the ball better than most professional tennis players I've ever hit with in my life. And the Yonex V-Core Pro is for absolute chads. And clearly, I'm not a chad, being only 5'8", maybe 5'9" on any given day. And I have stubby legs and stubby arms, and I can't bench press 350 pounds unlike Christian Doctor. So if you can play good tennis with a Yonex V-Core Pro 330, you are a god among mortal men. Good for you, Christian. Oh, really, Cat's Mike? Okay. So you found me through the YouTube algorithm. Awesome. Sorry, Xarian. Yeah, I mean, you know, rules are rules. So, you know, every time I'm in a restaurant, even though, yes, a mask is uncomfortable, I will wear a mask when I'm sitting down. Dean, it's one of my friends named Kevin C. He's around the Milwaukee area. He actually takes pretty good care of his rackets. So, yeah, he's, I think he found 2 of his rackets that are replaced. I think he found it on eBay or some sort. So some of them are new, some of them are old. Oh! Gyms are absolutely closed in Washington State. Okay. Big Lenny, you can string with 3 hands, so it's pretty similar to getting a massage at a parlor that you've never been to, where if you start off feeling 2 hands and you're about to fall asleep and you're getting into the rhythm and you felt that 3 hand come out of nowhere, probably near your lower groin region as you're face down and, you know, drifting off into sleep, you're going to notice it a little bit at first and it's going to feel really good, but you're not going to question it because it gets the job done faster. Broxystos, I would actually try a Yonex racket. I'm not sponsored by Yonex at all, but try it. They make really good frames, and I would try it. My main camera, frozen? It is frozen. What do you know? Damn it. Ugh, I gotta get new cords. Ugh! CJ Cobb, a Chad is someone that is toxically masculine and gets all the women in the world based off of just look it up. I don't want to say it on this channel. Best Yonex for an intermediate player, I would say any of the Yonex V-Core. So the Yonex V-Core 98 or the Yonex V-Core 100 are pretty damn good rackets for intermediate players. So give that a try, Broxystos. Wilson, let's see. Chris Lamb, good question. Wilson for a 4045 player. Oh, my cameos, yeah. More on that later. The Wilson Blade 18 by 20 or the Wilson Blade 16 by 19. Those are damn good tennis rackets for 40 to 45 tennis players. And even they're 14-year-old. Oh my god, a 14-year-old 4045? That's like almost Division 1 quality. Yeah, try the blades, my man. Try the blades. First light. But yeah, Broxystos, intermediate, the V-Core 98 or V-Core 100. Sam Lee 458. Use social media or use some sort of search engine to find someone that strings rackets around your area. Oh my goodness. Van found the stream. I should quit now. Cat's Mike, I would demo the V-Core 98 first. The V-Core 95, from what I heard, is extremely forgiving and really easy to swing to where it's like not even feeling like a 95, it feels more like a 98. But still, you're gonna spend anywhere from $150 to $200 on a tennis racket. Demo the V-Core 98 at least before you make a decision. That's my opinion. I'm really mad that my second camera took a shit on me. Ah! Sam Lee, how about neither? Find something cheaper. You can hear me now. Good. Braxy still, sorry about that. I would say that work on contact point, and with the contact point, I mean get it out in front of your body when you make contact with the ball. So a lot of that has to do with racket head speed and foot positioning. So that's my advice too. Night, Sharpie. Yeah, Faceless Man, try to... Neutral ball? The way I try to win tennis points, if I'm not relying on my opponent making an error, is having my opponent so far back when they strike my ground stroke, either forehand or backhand, that they actually miss it inside of the net. So develop a heavy, high loopy ball that pushes your opponent so far back that they eventually get sick of it and try to go for something stupid, or eventually they just get too tired or too flat-footed to where they can't get into position to generate enough power with their legs for them to get it over the net. Bill Bong, I actually don't have any string that is similar feeling like to 4G. So I have no idea. Yeah, Faceless Man. First match on clay. Yeah, that's gonna be. It's gonna be tough. So yep. Yeah, you definitely can't. What's up, Justin Blue? I have not tried the Wilson Revolve yet. Oh yeah, my bad. More power on your forehand. That's a good question. More power on your forehand. Plant more with your outside leg. So if you're a righty like me, the outside leg would be the right leg in this case. And if you're able to generate more power on that, it's a lot easier for you to rotate all the way through. That's my opinion though. I'll make that poll in a few minutes. So give me a few more crosses, because I do have a very important poll I want to run by you guys since you guys are here. A round with great spin potential. Justin, are you sure you want to try? I would honestly try a softer polyester like Technifiber Razor Code and the Yonex Polyester Pro, Justin Blue. I'll try those. Bill Bong, I am using a Gamma Progression 2, and it is modded with an electric tensioner called the Tennis Head 2086 Professional. So the Gamma Progression 2 I got for I think $350 used from a former student of mine, and the electric tension header was I think $600, and it only took about 20 to 30 minutes to install. MJ, I'm sorry that you can't get ISO speed. I don't know of any good other budget strings out there, except for maybe a Gaussian Polylon, I think that's what it's called. That is around the same price point, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not as soft. It's a good string, especially for the budget, but it's not as soft as the ISO speed baseline control. Christopher Dahl, try the Solinco Confidential if that's giving you pain, but if you like Hyper G. But if it's giving you pain, try the Solinco Confidential. I'm actually considering the baseline control for competitive match play because Solinco Hyper G right now, which is what I've been using in the past, I think 2 or 3 months, it's starting to give me elbow pain, specifically on the serve. So I am thinking about switching to the ISO speed baseline control for competitive play as well. Yeah, you're using 16L by the way, so Basis Man. So for me, I use 16 just to make it consistent for you guys. I'm good, Tennis Elbow. I actually had a sub shop across the street from me with some soup. So not exactly fast food, but still unhealthy. Very unhealthy. This beer making it even more unhealthy. So I'm going to make the poll right now, right? I'm going to leave it in the section down below. Hey, Sarah. How you doing, my man? Take a look at this phone. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Ooh, $50. I'm kind of afraid of ordering tennis strings on Amazon, Seafloors 5683, just because I've heard of I've heard of bad things happening. Meaning not like, you know, the world's gonna end or zombie outbreak, but by bad things I mean my friends get shipped not the strings that they ordered. It's like completely like a complete ripoff. So that's what I'm afraid of. I'd rather order directly, to be honest. Abe Lau, 16 gauge, thicker overgrips. The Gamma Supreme overgrips are the best overgrips I've ever used. A second close one would be the Yonex overgrips. Faceless man. Is that dill pickle? No. Is that the dill with YouTube channel? Okay. Yeah, Kadoki, apologies if I'm saying that name incorrectly. It does notch a lot easier than... I feel that it notches a lot easier than any other shape polys I've had, besides maybe the Kirschbaum Black Shark, so be very, very careful when stringing. Yes, Zabe has her. You should be definitely restringing tennis rackets. And the rule of thumb is if you play 5 times a week, you should be restringing at least 5 times a year. Yeah, just do the rule of thumb calculation I gave you. That's a pretty good way to do it. But typically, for me, I restring every time it breaks, just because I hit basically every single day, if not multiple times a day. Chromatic, it's a damn good racket. I would highly suggest you at least demo it, see if it fits your hitting style. Kyle Garangalio, Oh my god, I'm just totally messing up. Kyle Garangalio. Took that a bit. I'm afraid that if I use this Zverev tennis strings, which is a head hop touch, 1, I'll start double faulting way too much. 2, I will become a next-gen burnout that'll never win a Grand Slam. And 3, I'll have domestic abuse allegation towards me. So I'll stay away from it, but in all honesty, in all seriousness, sarcasm aside, I will be considering that in the near future. I think it actually is on my list. So that's my honest answer. Yeah, that might be possible, Dill Pickle. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll do a video review of myself next time. Playability is Xerium. So playability means like how long a string feels good, because there have been several times where the string that I'm playing with on my racket felt dead, but the tension was still the original tension. So it's just something that's like kind of like unmeasurable in my definition, that something just feels off from the tennis string, and it's nothing that you could like actually observe as a human being. There, so I'll talk about these allegations from a legal perspective, not because, you know, I'm gonna get sued by anybody, but I just wanted to be accurate without the comedic portion of my personality there. So there have been allegations, accusations about Zverev with domestic violence with his, I'm assuming his then girlfriend. But I don't think it actually ever went to court, but there have just been allegations to it. So that's the reason behind kind of the memes. That's kind of the reason behind my sarcasm and my snarkiness. Well, yeah, and tennis elbow, and I'm glad you clarified that, because, you know, your definition of playability is different from my definition of playability, similar to like what your definition is of, you know, what a real beer is and what my definition of a real beer is. In this case, if you're drinking anything under 5% alcohol by volume, that's water. That's not a real beer. This moment brought to you by every single IPA I've ever drank in my life, which is quite a lot. Cheers. Whoops. This is what the porn angle is. That's a little weird. Azen Shibi, I've never tried the ATG Super Tour 850 strings. I've never even heard of it. Where do you buy it? I started taking the racket back, Jan, a split second or two right before the ball's gonna bounce on my side of the court. That's what I believe. If you play 8 hours a week, okay, 8 hours a week. I would string, so Chromatic Lad, if you play 8 hours a week, I would say string your racket that you play with, like that specific racket. Let's say you only have one racket, all right? Let's make this simple. Say you only have one racket and you play 8 hours a week. You should string that tennis racket at least once every week and a half. But obviously, you know, you probably have multiple tennis rackets, so do the calculation yourself. Yeah, Aloe Power is a pretty good tennis string. It's just incredibly overpriced. And it's incredibly overpriced. Right now, MJ, I have a platform. Sorry. It's pinpoint. All right, Cats Mike. See you, man. Thanks for hanging out. Good string for control. Literally every string I've ever reviewed on my channel is good for control. If you want more control-oriented one without spin potential, try a round polyester. If you want control with spin potential and bite, try something that's shaped. Yeah, Asian Chibi, I still have never heard of that. Weird. What country is that manufactured out of? Phil Iman, ISO speed based on control. And for those of you that voted, like good people on this stream. Oh, really? Asian Chibi? Really? I didn't know that. Soul Mythology, the Luxon 4G is the most expensive string I've ever reviewed on this channel. And it is incredibly overpriced, and you should look elsewhere if you want to save some money. But hey, if you and or your parents are making over $2 million a year, buy the Luxon 4G. Go ahead. But I can't recommend it for regular consumers. Really? I've never heard of this tennis string. Huh. Oh, it's a multi-filament, that's why. I'm only playtesting Asian Chibi, I'm only playtesting polyesters right now. Dill Pickle, it really depends on the height of the bounce I'm able to strike it at. Kyle, I am thinking about it, but I just want to get through a good amount of polys first before I branch out. MJank, I have never tried the E-Zone DR, but I heard through plenty of sources that I trust the E-Zone DR98 is one of the best rackets of this modern generation. Not only just from Yonex, but one of the best rackets in recent memory. So it's going to be similar, but it's not nearly going to be as good. I will say this, the E-Zone 2020 98 is a little bit harder to... It's a little bit harder to swing around, but it's a lot more stable than the E-Zone made in 2017. Dill Pickle, if the opponent's at the baseline, it depends on if I feel like my opponent's on that day, how strong my opponent is, if my opponent likes that shot, if my opponent is in good shape, if my opponent is able to run back and forth or left to right in a good manner. So it depends. I use the Gamma Supreme Overgrip Andre Taggart. It's a damn good overgrip. It's a little bit thicker than I'm used to, but it's pretty damn good. Yeah, but CR10S, it's 4G. You really want to pay almost $300 a reel for an okay tennis string? Jesus Christ. If I paid $300 for a reel of tennis string, it sure as hell better give me like an extra 2 or 3 inches on the single sideline, because I am paying to win at that point. That is freaking ridiculous, man. That's why I made this to be consumer friendly, because I think there are better strings out there. I'm not saying the 4G is bad. I'm not saying the Babylon RPM Blast is bad. I'm not saying the Luxon Alu Power is bad. I'm just saying it's way too damn expensive for 99.9% of people out there. Kyle, you're gonna be a Chad instead of a virgin. Just watch a lot of YouTube videos and get on a tennis ball machine, dude. That's what I can say it. Good, Rice, Vince Cruz. Good. My man with a budget. And Heath Dorn, don't forget the ISO speed, my man. Don't forget the ISO speed. Okay, guys, I'm headed out, but before I do, I will show you the live stream poll. Can we get a drum roll, please? Yes, I do have Instagram Dill Pickle. Like literally just search my name, Mark Sanset on Instagram. And the top 10 is gonna be 7 days from now. So, you guys got that looking forward to. Sierra Tennis uploaded an emoji of a loading screen. How awesome is that? Alright, gang. See ya. Keep it real. Stay healthy. As always, happy hitting, my friends.